Hello, hello. We are live for our first ever Celestial Flow. And we're live on both the Prosperity Artist podcast, as well as YouTube, LinkedIn, Jahjehan's Facebook, Jahjehan's YouTube. And wow, this is exciting.
This is exciting. I love when dreams come to fruition, right?
Which dreams, Jaji? Which dreams?
All the dreams, my friend.
There's a funny little joke here because Jahjehan and I met apparently in a dream. Not part two. See, you didn't even think about
I didn't even connect that. But yes, that is true.
You had a dream about me.
I had a dream about you, and not that kind.
The first thing she came up and told me, she's like, I had you in my dreams.
I know. I didn't quite put it that way, but I said, I saw you in my dream.
I saw you in my dreams.
I knew I was going to meet you. And
was it that voice? No.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I think it was a little less bedroom voice.
So I'm going to talk about our tea, or my tea at least, today. And then
my tea too.
Oh, perfect. So I don't know who's on my tea. She's a spicy kitty. Look at her.
Oh my gosh.
She's love her.
Mine is Celestial Flow tea.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. For those of you who are listening on the podcast, we're also going to be running these live on YouTube. You can join us. You can ask questions real time. We are live if you are watching this on any of the channels that it's coming up on. If you are listening to this, then that is the recording after the fact. But know that you can join us live and definitely follow and like and subscribe, do all the things, and we'll give you some announcements when we are going to go live. And so with that, what's the tea today, Jahjehan?
Mine is a green peach tea because I wanted something that would energize me and be a little like sweet.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. I love a good peach. Did you know that peach clears anger?
Interesting.
Peach is very, very yummy / important for our manifestors.
I was going to say, and I'm a manifester, so clearing anger is like the name of the game. Not that I'm feeling angry today, but it has been, I'm an emotional manifester too. So I kind of go, whoosh.
My Manny Jens, check out Peach. She's a special helper. And I see that we have some people joining live. Feel free to say hi. Let us know where you're from. If you know human design, let us know your design. In my cup, I have oolong. It is oolong tea, and it is the first strain of oolong tea. And it is so, it like floral and fragrant. Like it low key tastes like drinking perfume, but not in a bad way. In a in a very delicate way, and in a very, I don't know, I was gonna say expensive way.
Luxurious. Some luxurious tea for you.
It takes me like back to, I don't know what time, but I feel like I'm in some court somewhere with a gujang, just having some fun. And so with that, let's dive in. This is our first ever Celestial Flow. And today we're going to be covering what is going on from now until the 19th of this month. And also we're going to be talking about transits that come up regularly throughout the year or that you may have in your chart. And so even if you're watching this retroactively, know that there's still something in here for you. We're also going to be talking about the extremely powerful Capricorn New Moon that we get to experience, and several different transits that we've been in that I really believe in, and I think Jahjehan agrees with me, are game changing and are really relevant over the next 4 months to 2 years. So definitely stay tuned. We're also going to be sharing some art today. And an opportunity that we have, we are going to tune y'all, and you are invited. And so the sponsor of today's is Prosperity Artists. On prosperityartist.com, you will find our live events together. We will be in Tulum not once, but twice this year in February, taking advantage of some very special astrology, which we'll be talking about today, and changing, shaping, honing, refining our love and our personal power as we move into this year.
Yeah. And into this like energy that is building, that is so potent.
Mm-hmm. Little fire horse moment.
Like, you to ride,
getting ready to gallop.
Right. You gotta shed, and remember to shed the last of what's holding you back, because you cannot grow forward if you are still stuck in the skin that you have wrapped yourself in. That is your life that does not feel good anymore. You got to wiggle out of that crap.
I mean, you can. It just won't be fun.
You can. You just might suffocate in there. I'm just saying.
Like pulling it. It's funny. There's so many visuals coming in. I'm seeing people like pull the skin off of snakes, and I'm like, don't do that.
No.
So let's take a moment. Some folks are new and they don't know us. We have had, if you'd like to tune in, a couple of episodes where we basically bare our soul for hours.
Very much. Shebala makes me cry.
I tell my entire life story, like 1 hour monologues. Like, feel free to check out one of the last 2 episodes of Prosperity Artists. Both Jahjehan and I go extremely deep. But Jahji, can you introduce yourself to the audience? Let them know a little bit about you, a little bit about your background, and some of the things that we're going to be sharing today. And then I'll do the same after.
Yeah, so it's wonderful to meet you. I am Jahjehan, aka Jahji. You'll hear Shebala probably flip back and forth. And I live just outside of Philadelphia. I live in a beautiful light-filled home, which you might see, and I am a transformational guide, a human design coach, I and an artist as well. I love what I do, and I am a 5/1 manifester, and my one and only channel, if you know human design, is the 3536. So I am really designed to help you take those leaps of faith. That's what I love doing with my clients that I work with in my life. And I find that my ability to sort of navigate those things that other people might find uncomfortable is one of my superpowers. And I love talking about the celestial weather. Human design has been a passion since I discovered it, I guess going on 6 years ago now. Astrology has been in my life forever, but I did grow up sort of skirting around it because I was born and raised in a Sufi community right outside of Philadelphia. That's where my name comes from, Jahjehan. Actually arrived in a telegram from Sri Lanka. Because I almost left the hospital baby girl, but instead got my name. And I basically have been a lifelong seeker, whether that be diving into the Sufi tradition with Rumi and Hafiz, and my teacher, Bao Mahideen, and really just diving into the core of us. And that's what I love about human design. It really gives us almost, I always joke, it's like the user's manual that I've been asking for, where I can see the things that live within me and the things that live within all of us and learn how to work and flow with them. And that's what I'm excited to do here.
Amazing. I'm Shebala, Queen of Lions. I am a medicine woman and prosperity artist. I spent about a decade climbing the corporate ladder, and then transitioned into coaching women in business. And now I live in my art while
Mhm.
serving as a traveling partner for those who are moving through their spiritual journeys. I spend a lot of time and money trying to resist slash quickly get through a spiritual journey that felt forced on me, not knowing that I was really reconnecting into gifts that had been given to me by birth, as you know, as gifts are given to all of us in birth, and also that I was continuing a lineage and legacy of many beautiful and powerful healing women in my family. I found that out afterwards. My grandma is a reverend in the Episcopal Church, and so it took me a while to find out that I come from a line of healing women, midwives, herbalists, and to trace that back, you know, down into the DNA and learn that I come from a forest nomad tribe that does plant medicine, and on the other side, a tribe that was known, Akan, in Ghana for dealing in gold and money. And so now the work that I do that merges healing, herbalism, money making, and also art. And it just is so aligned for me. And so for me, human design ended up being a portal first to help me understand my clients, and then to help me move through a journey of self discovery, which would eventually kill my first self. My OG name is Melisa, and I still go by both of them, though pretty much everyone calls me Shebala at this point. Uh, and so for me, it really has been a massive story of rebirth. And it's something that I work through my clients with. So for people who are moving through a moment of rebirth, whether that feels delightful, scary, empowering, or anything in between, feel free. Feel free to reach out and check us both out uh,
Mhm.
on our websites, which I'll be sure to like post as we're moving through this experience. But they are shebala.com and jahjehives.com.
Mhm.
And so with that, shall we jump in, Jaji?
Let's jump in.
Let's
Let's take a leap.
take a leap. And I, you know, I wanted to on this share my music because we're getting
Yes, please.
and so we are going to be talking about the sun transit and earth transit primarily. We'll make sure we always cover those whenever we're doing a celestial flow. And we're in gate 60 as well as gate 56. And so there is a song, Shebala will be live on Spotify, Apple Music, all the places folks stream music. I'm going to pop in. I will show you my remastering tool. I do use a really cool AI remastering tool. And that's what you're going to see when we play the song, because I felt like it was so perfect for this moment.
Le futur ne crée pas.
That's the French part.
Il respire.
The future doesn't scream, it breathes.
Timing whispers. It doesn't require no flipping coins. I read the field. I feel the moment before it's revealed. I trust the flow. I trust my pace. No way to be late for your own life.
That part. I trust the flow. I trust the pace. No way to be late for your own life. It felt just really juicy to me with this particular transit, with the sun in gate 60. You can feel like pressure.
Yes.
And pressure to move
Mhm.
when in truth it's time to wait, and even maybe dip into any melancholy that might bring up
Mhm.
until the clarity unlocks, right? And so I'll let you were going to say something, Jaji.
Well, and I was just going to say gate 60 being in the root, like that's the pressure center. That's the like pushing forward, but it's really paying attention to when you're pushing or pulling instead of actually waiting for that real pressure, the real timing to align. And so I love that. I also will just fully admit that as we were listening to that clip, I was imagining us playing that and dancing on the beach in Tulum with all the people who were to choose in. Like we were 100% dancing to that on the beach in Tulum.
You may have been imagining that because I was having a moment of stress and I actually literally wrote that song for myself to remind myself that there's literally no way to be late in my own life. And that we were going to be on a beach in Tulum dancing with people. So literally, that is like the visual I had while writing
infused into the song. I don't know if anybody listening to this also saw that, but if you did, Shebala basically infused that into the song.
My hope is that they all become amazing clearing songs. And so, Gate 60, we've got 5 people hanging out with us live. Please say hi. Let us know where you're from. Ask us any questions. We're talking the Sun Transit Gate 60. Yes. Hi, Sharon. I love it.
Sharon.
So we are talking Gate 60 and Gate 56. I'm going to put your cards up on the screen and have you go ahead and let's just share your beautiful designs, my love, and then we'll jump into each of them.
Right. You're doing this, right? I'm not. Okay, there you go.
Tell us about your beautiful artwork, Gate 60, Gate 56. I'll let you take the floor and then I'll jump in with any ads.
Okay. All right. Well, what you're seeing are my 2 illustrations. For the past 2 years, I've actually been following the transits. And while we're transiting through, connecting with people who have these channels, these gates within their own human design, and listening to their stories, you know, because it came from, I don't have every single gate illuminated in my chart. And I wanted to know what people's experiences were. And so when I was doing this, Gate 60 is my friend Jenny. She's an amazing person. She runs a camp, or actually a series of events for women up in Canada called Soulful Events that are all about transformation. And it came from her own essentially journey through depression, through trying to push, through trying to make things work. And she realized, you know, in pure great Gate 60 energy that transformation begins with the acceptance to focus on what is growing and compost the rest. And so for each of these cards, you know, I sit with the energy. I hear the stories of the people who these gates are. And I also feel into the landscape, which is why each of the energies has a nature element with it.
Yeah.
And for this, it was like mushrooms, of course. Like mushrooms rise from the compost. They rise from the things that we've discarded. And it's, you know, for me, that's sort of the Gate 60 energy is, I often call this the MacGyver gate. It's like okay, this didn't work, but let's try this. It's sort of like when you're constantly experimenting your way and feeling that pulse, you're going to get there eventually. And you don't necessarily have to like MacGyver it. But it's that energy of really like being willing to discard what didn't work so that you can build something better.
Yeah, I love this gate. So on the other side, that gate, right, the full channel, it's the whole journey that starts with fusion and then eventually ends in this clarity that comes from acceptance. So we call it limitation or acceptance. I don't know if there's another, I don't know if Karen calls it something else. I'm more like in the Chayton.
Yes, and my main teacher is Karen Curry Parker.
and Rob. There's another word. Let's throw it in there. But I'm going to read this bit. This one I'm going to read from Book of Lights. It says accepting restrictions allows for the possibility of flow and transcendence and the means to find new ways to resolve old problems. I really love that because there's two things. It's a lot of the problems or the issues or the things that may come up have been there. And so for me, sometimes it's an emergence of something that I have not been facing or haven't been willing to go through the process of really moving through. It's okay, let me actually take this and clean it up so that I can get to growth that is sustainable.
Yes.
And growth that is going to be something that truly will create transcendence.
Yes.
So
It's
that
like
I can move forward.
Yeah, and that's Karen calls it conservation, which to me, conservation is like being willing. It's not holding tight to like, I'm going to just keep doing. It's actually being willing to let go of the things that aren't working so that you can focus on what is and actually use that energy. And that's acceptance. It's like acceptance is that surrender.
The other part of that, and I don't know that she means this, but when you said conservation, the first thing that was coming up to me is literally conserving your energy, because we can be so tempted to force action.
Yes.
When it is not time.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of moving through that process. When we look at how it swings, it goes from unstructured and rigid to realism to justice, right? So the highest of this gate is justice. And justice is a really fun one to think about, but from like a personal perspective, I'm like, what is actually in alignment in my life today, in this moment, given my capacity, given where I am ready to accept and receive things. Like that's when I think a lot of times when this gate comes up for me, it's when we're at like, when we're working through something and we're seeing the barriers instead of seeing that as guidance.
Yes. Yeah. Focusing on what's not working instead of focusing on, okay, this isn't working. And how do we compost this? Like, how do we, because the I Ching for this is limitation. And so the hexagram for this is the hexagram called limitation. And so, I always think like you can choose to be limited by your limitations, or you can choose to see your limitations and work from there.
Yeah. And it's what's also really fun with this one for me is the framing of limitations comes from conditioning.
Exactly.
Right. And so if we, and I'm like, let me get nerdy with it for a second.
I love a good nerdy moment.
I do have a slide with a mantra that I like for this specific, I like it all the time, but I love it for the specific game. We'll get to that in a minute. But limitation. So this says a limiting rule or circumstance or restriction, a condition of limited ability, a defect or failing, the action of limiting something, or law, right? And it comes from like limitare. And so I'm just kind of looking into what, like a restraint, right? Restraint is something that keeps you under control or within limits. And so all of this is really interesting because I'm like, I could go down a really intense rabbit hole right now about free will. And because I was literally just watching someone talk about free will. And for me, when we get to the acceptance of limitation that gate 60 gives us, what it gives us is this clarity to how our free will works, and I won't go down the full rabbit hole with that one, but to the fact that there is a version of life where you are seeking to manifest things via control.
Mm-hmm.
There is another version of life where you understand that things are manifesting through you without any action of your own. And you get to actually witness and receive it and wait for the divine pressure that moves you forward versus creating pressure on your own with an attempt to manifest.
Yes.
And part of that is accepting our human vessel and the quote unquote limitations, since we're using this, that come with that vessel. Does that land?
That lands, yeah. And it's like, I know you have, I was just looking at, because that little bit of my card, I also wrote like, there's more to it. And it's really about how when you let go of how you thought it should be and explore possibilities with a curious mind rooted in gratitude, then what is meant to grow will. And to me, that's really one of the gifts. And, and I also think in terms of this gate, it is grounded in, because the earth is in gate 56.
Mm-hmm.
And so when the sun is transiting 1, what the earth is transiting is really what we're all grounded in. And gate 56 is one of the storytelling gates that lives in the throat. And it is about speaking ideas into expansion. And so it's like, are you speaking your limitations into expansion? Or are you composting what those fears? Because a lot of times when we speak negatively, we say, oh, it's not possible for me. It's because we're in this fear mode. We're not allowing ourselves that expansion of, like you said, the manifestation that's possible when you let go of how it has to be, when you stop trying to control it. Instead, you step towards the energy of what actually is pulling you forward, what actually is pulsing you forward, instead of trying to micromanage it and make it all fit into your neat little tidy box of life. And so I love these two energies together because they're both really about growth and possibility, and specifically honed into feeling that pulse of timing that's in the root and speaking out those possibilities in the throat, because what we speak is what calls what's possible into our lives. Our words really matter. And our vibration, that vibration that lives in the root also. And so they co-create really what we're going to be calling into our life.
Can I give you a different perspective on that one?
Always. Yes.
It's not really different. It's an and. So
yeah,
what we speak, it really just depends on what part of your journey you're on.
Yes.
If you're still in active manifestation, what Shashi said, what you speak is going to call your reality into your life.
True.
If you're at the place where you are really living as a witness to the life that is manifesting through you, what you speak will ultimately reflect what is coming through. And allow your human to remain in a calm nervous system state that will allow it to continue to receive. So just a little bit of nuance depending on where you are on your journey and what you're trying to do at that moment. And, as someone who has one of the purely manifested, like the only purely manifested channel, money channel, I am very familiar with manifestation, just straight up.
Yeah.
Like we can, both ways are totally fine. There's no judgment, but I did want to throw that in there. 56 is a fascinating one for me. I had a client once, and she's a reflector, travels the world, telling stories, was writing several novels while we were working together. And it was hilarious because I would have to pause her 56, because if not, we could just speak forever. Weave a story about a person shopping in the grocery store. And it would literally be about the person trying to put the coin into the thing to get the grocery. But she would say it in such the highest is called intoxication, like this intoxicating way that we could spend like 30 minutes talking about this woman at the grocery store. And so what's funny is that for me, what's fun and funny is that gate 56 is not necessarily about honesty or even communicating any, like, if we want to say like communicating a message that is aligned with your core. It's literally about getting an emotional rise. So, and as you move through that journey, truthfulness becomes part of it. And learning to be more intentional and to not be distracted with the expression.
Yeah.
And so it's a fun one to kind of pair, because you get to really pay attention to what is coming out of your mouth. And like Jahjehan said, like, is it reinforcing funky feels that gate 60 may be bringing up? Or is it reflecting a truth that can actually get you to balance, acceptance, justice, focus, mutation, which is what 60 is here for?
Yes. I love that. I love that. Well, and that 56 is on the other end. The channel is gate 11, which is ideas. So that's why it's such a busy storyteller, and that it is called, in traditional human design, it's the gate of the storyteller.
They storytelling keeps coming up in some of the references, but the wanderer is another one.
Yes, the I Ching is the wanderer, and in quantum human design, it's expansion, the gate of expansion.
I love it. All right, let's keep going, shall we? So this is my transit mantra.
I love that.
For me. This is especially, some of us, we move through these moments, and 60 can come with melancholy. And what's beautiful is melancholy can often be the breakthrough. I have several gates that come with melancholy, and it, for me, becomes melancholy leads to creativity, leads to breakthrough. But if you are moving through this mentally and want to work with your mind, life is happening for me. And the question becomes, how is this happening for me? And when you see the thing, I'm not saying like, find the silver lining. I'm literally saying, find the guidance. It's not like, well, it could be worse. Or I'm like, find the guidance, find the resource. Look at it and say, ooh, what direction is this pushing me towards? And also maybe, what am I avoiding?
Yeah.
It could be a solution, and maybe it's a less direct one in your view, but it's one that actually puts things together in a way that makes them useful, sustainable, helpful long-term.
I love that. Yeah, because life is happening for me. That really is that is the phrase that can change you. It can change your perspective so quickly.
That is the phrase that pays. It's like when you said that.
Phrase that pays, yes.
And I promise y'all, this phrase, it really is the phrase that pays, period. Any transit you're on, it's very helpful. And that one line I find, so I've had clients, who move through like rebirth journeys with me. And I have this one client, Michelle, she'd be okay with me saying her name. And we went through her whole journey. And Michelle got married. Michelle got her dream job. Michelle got, she had a job and a side hustle. Her side hustle, she had like national placements, international stuff, speaking, everything. Okay. And now it's like 6 a.m. in the morning, and I don't do 6 a.m. anymore, but I'm like on the call with her before she's going to her fancy new job. and she has her latte in hand and she is complaining. Like, Michelle, you were here with your coach at 6 some a.m. drinking this fancy coffee, walking out of your car. There's not the BMW yet, but it's still your dream color. You just got married. You have your dream job. Everything is here. What's going on? Like, what more do we need to do for you to be happy, satisfied? And what I got to was, oh shit. And this is way before I'd done the energetic work that I do now. We get to reset your frequency. And what I found is there is a frequency that is it's very much like turning the dial on a radio. And your radio station is either playing Life is Happening for Me or Life is Happening to Me.
Yes.
Or toggling between both sporadically.
Say that again, please. Because that is so important.
I don't know if it came through channel, so I'll try to say it, but it will not be the same.
Well, I can repeat it back to you if you can, because
that there is a frequency that is like a radio station, and your radio station is likely either playing Life is Happening for Me or Life is Happening to Me. And many of us are toggling back and forth depending on whoever is in our energy and in our face. And when you can see it and choose Life is Happening for Me, an entire world opens up, because that is really where you release your victim and embrace your freedom. And even if you believe we do not have free will, you will still embrace the freedom of calmly watching what is manifesting through you and being able to accept it and enjoy it, because there is a choice. And when you know your life is happening for you, there is always a way to choose joy.
Yes.
And I'm not talking toxic positivity. I'm talking feeling the feel in the moment and then accepting it.
Yes.
And choosing whatever vibration frequency. But for us with Michelle, once I got that, that was the moment that energetics clicked for me and perspective hit for me. Once I got it, everything changed.
Yeah.
And this gate, sitting in it, accepting it, moving through it can get you there.
Yes. I also love that we were at minute 36 when you were giving this revelation, which gate 36 is like crisis, but it's not crisis to pull you apart. It's because life is happening for you. It may not be what you planned, but when you take that leap and you just go, life is happening for me, whoosh, you take off.
I love it. Okay, what came next? I'm like, what did I put on these slides? Okay. Oh, it's the rewind. Like, okay.
Yeah.
So this is human design heavy. And I have been for a few months tracking, I didn't tell you this, Jahjehan, I have been tracking the transits and just watching the flow of transits through the year.
Yeah.
And how it sets up our evolution constantly, depending on where we chime in, and just the cycles is getting real funny here.
I've been doing the same, and it's been very interesting to see all the things happening out there and how they are so tuned into this.
Yes, and I wanted to both rewind and look forward, because it's fascinating, especially if you are here, if y'all are one of my prosperity artist people and you're moving through your journey of self-defined prosperity. How do I know everything that I know, see everything I see, witness my life, and still work within this system that many of us live in, because we haven't chosen to exit it, because you really can just exit and get off grid and all these things. So because we're still choosing it, how do we move through it? And so Jahjehan got to witness me in full energy moving through gate 54. I was on a cleanse and gate 54. So I put them down at the bottom, ambitions, and 53, new beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, we were meant to work on our retreat. And how this one hit me was like, we literally were having a movie, music. We were supposed to have a meeting. And then I just started singing. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
And this is what I love about Shahjehan, because she just went with the flow and I sang. Like I kept singing all these songs, like golden songs and these songs for about,
it was like 15 minutes.
I think I took at least 20 minutes, right? Like it was rough.
It was a concert.
Hold on, sir. And then we kind of had our meeting. And then I was like, music is coming out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Out of me. And for me, I was cleansing at that point in time. So on full green juice, hadn't had a drop of any kind of sugar. So in full channel. And I do not recommend this, but I did not sleep for 48 hours. I went through a deep dive into AI music creation, creating music, all of the things. And I felt that energy of gate 54 moving through me. And that 53, the music, was my new beginning. To be clear, this has already been a part of my life. I already had lyrics. I already had things happening, although I thought they were poems. It just flew through me. And for many of us, a couple of weeks ago, there was something new emerging for you, and or something that's been here, but the added focus on it has been new. Did you have a specific thing during that transit that came up for you, Jahjehan?
Well, there was two things. One, our Tulum retreat finally came into, I mean, we spent like the 48, you didn't sleep for 48 hours because you weren't just creating music.
Oh yes, because I didn't
also
want to let it go.
the final pages of the retreat and being like, this is what energy we were waiting for.
Yes.
I have the gate 42 to the 53. So I always carry that completion energy, which Shebala knows is also why I'm usually like, I'm over here already. Are you going to come over here and meet me? And Shebala's like, wait, I got to.
Yes. Thank you for reminding. Because when it came, I was like, I will hold on to both streams at the same time. I remember
why you did not sleep for 48 hours.
And that is my money channel because I can. I'm like, my will get me through. And so you're right. I was not only birthing the music,
but also birthing the final retreat.
The final retreat phase. Yes. And I wouldn't let it go because, and I think this one's fun. I wanted to thank you for highlighting that because I think with many gens, that happens. Like we'll be on one path and then that new like gate 53 will hit. And sometimes it literally is gate 53 hitting at different times of the year. Or it's you meet someone like me and I have gate 53 and it'll hit and you just take off in a different direction. Yeah. But for me, since the retreat is with Jahjehan and she's got that full, like we make that full cycle of maturation, it was like, no. And also I've learned my lesson from doing different things a couple of times over. And I was like, no, both of these, I'm going to hold them. And what's weird is I can't even knock my choice because I was functional. Like I was,
you were hyper functional. I would wake up in the morning and there'd be like 40 text messages from you that were, it was like I got to witness your journey overnight, even though I was sleeping because I'm a manifester and I need to rest. Otherwise I can go for long periods of time, but not like a manifesting generator. And I cannot follow two paths at once. I mean, I can think I can, but let's just be honest. I really am like, gonna go. And yeah, I would just wake up to these strands and be like, oh, she's doing it.
It was full-time vendor mode. And again, like sometimes we scare ourselves instead of, again, riding the flow of the power.
Yes. And that's the thing. You could have doubted yourself in that moment. You could have thought you were being irresponsible or whatever. And then that music would not have gotten birth through you.
No.
Because it was asking so clearly. And you were doing other things too. We're not even going to mention the other things that were going on. And I was witnessing all of this, y'all, because, you know, Shebala and I have been working together, and it's just, I was waking up and I was birthing something new as well. I was having things come through for clarity, for closure, for the cards, for the illustrations.
Yeah.
And I didn't even share that with you because I was like, I don't even want to distract her with like letting her know about that. But that was happening on the side for me.
Yeah, you were finishing them up.
Yeah, I was like, that's happening for me, but that's for me. And Shebala's spinning 5 plates right now, and she's doing an amazing job. Like, if you want to witness someone who can spin 5 plates, go find your manifesting generator friend, because that's what they're built for.
Yeah. In the past, I would not trust these urges because my husband would get nervous.
Yeah.
But I just sat back because when I built my first coaching business, there was a moment where I did all of my courses and they flew through me, and I just set up like a little bed here, and just was like, wow, okay. And then I would get up, work, go to sleep, get up, work, and it just needed to come through. And that is when you finally get to this point where you trust your channel. The past one, I did it out of like frustration and anger. It was like, this shit is coming out of me because I'm done. And for me, I was really able to just do it from a place of joy.
Yes.
The reality is, when we do not listen to these, we store all of this energy, and it gets stored in a funky way.
Yeah.
And it comes out, you know, then I'm upset at Jahjehan because I'm like, I'm not able to do this, or I'm like pissed. But this time it came out with so much joy. And I remember the moment my mom came into my room, and she was like, ooh, and she starts dancing. And it became like a place of happiness and joy. And none of it made sense. Like, I was literally like, why am I spending so much? None of it made sense. I hadn't even been on AI before, as anti-AI. Like, I was still trying to figure out how to merge that from an integrity standpoint.
There was no logic here. It was all, you were following your body and your flow. And that was the beautiful thing. It's like witnessing you truly trusting the energy of what was pulling you forward. Produced, I mean, people, like in quantum human design, we call manifesting generators time benders. And there's a reason for it, because Shebala, I was like, you are literally bending time right now. And it is beautiful to witness. And because she trusts herself.
So let's look at that. And so I bring this up, tell the whole story, because some of y'all trust in yourself. Some of y'all did not. And what I really believe is happening is we're going to get shaken up in different ways. And I looked, we only put in 3, but I looked at the transits all the way through Feb.
Yes.
It's just fun to see how we're going to get kind of shaken up. Clarity is really what it is. And you're going to get this question of, are you ready to like choose what's coming through you? Or are you going to keep resisting? And so we went from this like really action driven transit into now inner truth and detail. Which is like a super mental one.
It is so, yes. And if you had the gate 24 or the gate 17, which I had the gate 24, that gate 61, I don't have usually a defined head in ajna, but with this transit, I reached out to Shebala because I was like, why am I stuck in my head going in loops? And then I looked at the transits. I was like, oh, that's why I'm stuck in my head going in loops. And it's not because I'm meant to get on the hamster wheel. It's because I'm here to actually receive that inner truth, as opposed to chase. Because the shadow of inner truth in the gene keys, the shadow of this is paranoia. And isn't that interesting? You know, when we're feeling like we have to shoulder the responsibility for figuring everything out instead of allowing the inner truth to drop in. Whew. It is.
I love this one. It says, truth happens in a silent mind.
Mm-hmm.
Your innermost sincerity compels you towards what you know to be true.
Yes.
And it's really interesting for me. I have been very good at quieting my mind, and I never had a mind that talked to me.
Mm.
That's the other funny one. I don't know if it's like my gate 20 being so high up in my chart, but be my sun. But it was a revelation for me. I remember reading, I think Michael Singer book. I think it was a journey. No, I'll find it. It's not Journey of Soul something. But that book, when he was talking about an internal narrator and stuff like that, I was like, wait, what? And I ran around to my mom and my husband. Yes, the untethered soul. Thank you, Mallory.
Oh, yes.
The untethered soul. And I was like, this is how you live? I go to Kevin and I was like, is that a thing? Like, do you have a voice that talks to you in your head? Because for me, I didn't understand. Like, when I have a voice that talks to me in my head is when I know something's off.
Mm.
The voice is there. I know I'm in anxiety, fear, this, that. Like, it just isn't, that's not a thing. And I know it's there. So I can tune into it. Like, I can be like, so what are you running right now? But it's not a, read the book. And read it. It's a great one, but it really opened me up. Even if it doesn't resonate with you, for me, it just resonated with the other side of the experience. And apparently I looked it up, like 20% of people or something like that. Do not quote me on that number, because when I looked it up, it was about 5 years ago, do not have an internal narrator.
Mm.
I haven't related that back to human design, but I wonder if it's somehow related to gate 20 is what I've asked for. Like, it's what I thought in my own life and in my own chart.
I don't have gate 20, and I definitely have an internal narrator. So I will say I have an open head in Ajna. Like, my design is actually up on the wall behind me. If you're watching, I only have 2 centers defined. So even though I'm a manifestor, people usually are like, ooh, really powerful. I'm actually I am. And I feel the world. I read you deeply. Like, I've got 7 open centers. And my journey has been actually to realize that a lot of the internal narration wasn't actually narration. It was reception.
Mm-hmm.
It was reception. And so this came to me during the pandemic, when we were all in this. I mean, our nervous systems co-regulate, and I realized I was going up during the pandemic. I would go up into my meditation space, be at home with my husband, my 2 kids, and I almost felt like I was receiving everything that was out there and working up in my meditation space, trying to solve the problems of the world. Until one morning when I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I do not need to solve the problems of the world in my own little room on my own. I can release this. And when I unhooked, now you say internal narrator, actually, it's hard. Not hard. I've unhooked so much that when I tune in, I'm like, oh, there it is. I've unhooked to the point where I do have an internal narration, but it's usually actually reception. It's usually my channel. Yeah. And that's the thing. And I can hear the difference now.
Mm-hmm. So, and that's fun that you say that, because it's definitely different voices. And for me, my head center is completely open.
Mine is too.
And so, because I didn't have an internal narrator, I can hear when somebody else's stuff is in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Or when I'm obsessing over somebody else's stuff. And that's where I laugh. It's probably like my number one source of manifestor anger, where I'm like, don't put it in my head. You haven't experienced that with me except today. Remember this morning when I was like, I don't want to talk about this too long.
Oh, yes.
That's like, I was literally.
And as soon as you called me on it, I was like, oh yeah, thank you.
And it wasn't your stuff. It was the world.
It was receptions, because you kicked me out of because like I said, it's a practice of hearing, and sometimes I don't recognize it.
We were talking about some of the fear that people have about traveling right now and how that's, might be addressed in FAQ. And for me, I was like, ooh, please let's not bring that vibration of fear into the equation at all, or even bring up. So sometimes, and this is a really good marketing tip, and I just want to throw it out there to the world, which is if you're doing a lot of dancing to alleviate fears, concerns, etc. of your audience, you are going to bring in people with fear. And you might think you've alleviated them in that moment, but they're rooted in something deeper, and that will come to your event, to your coaching, to your whatever. And until you get to the actual root, now you are dealing with it, you're managing it, you're nurturing it, and or trying to not nurture it. And so just know that that's always a question mark. And it's not that we don't get to address valid concerns from people. It's just something that we get to work through. Like if I'm having to convince you, then I'm going to need to move through that when you then get received. And so I actually had sent Jahjehan something that actually included what she was referencing. So she was bringing it back to me. And today I was like, no, we have Celestial Flow. I have a website. Like I'm into I was like, it's like my headphones. I was like, nope. Don't bring that vibration of fear in. I have no desire to even deal with that right now. My head is where it is. And the reality is this is my own quote unquote limitation. And I've sat with it. I'm like, have I created this limitation? Has human design conditioned me to believe that because I have an open head center, yada, yada, yada. So I've sat with this in all the different angles. And there is this truth that there are things that I literally hear come out of people's mouths and I can feel them hit me and hook. But they can only stay there if there is an embedded fear within me. So meaning the thing that bothered me this morning could only be there because I have my own little grain of fear. And so the work is then clearing what is in you that's resonating with the thing that is coming up. Does that land?
That lands so deeply.
Yeah.
Because I think that's it. It's when something hits us, it's pulling at, there's the residue that it's bringing up for you. And the beautiful thing is, since you've said that, it's residue. I always say you have to feel that thing in order to release it. And if it's coming up, then that's because you get to look at it instead of swim around with it and be like, oh my gosh.
Yep. I'm just seeing this post from Sharon. Thank you so much, Sharon. Please keep coming back. We'd love to see you. And so that brings us to here. So now we have gotten this ambition, potentially gotten in a new beginning. We've dealt with our mental twists and turns related to it. We've dug into details, and now we can see more. And some of what we're seeing may look like a limitation, and we can move into the next stage of our journey, which is hopefully acceptance and mutation, so evolution.
Yes.
I really think, and I'll just gloss over this one, not in depth. I really think this is a massive buildup to February.
I agree.
Because we move through this, then we're in fantasy, then we bring in other people's needs and pressure, and then we bring in our empathetic self, which also brings in potentially other people again.
Mm-hmm.
And then we hopefully kick it all out with some revolution. And so it's we're moving through this process of really seeing, okay, we're trying to do this thing. And then we kind of get hit by okay, what's your head thinking? Okay, can you where are your fantasies, but what's actually reality for you in this moment?
Mm-hmm.
Can you transmute the pressure to meet other people's needs and do all this other stuff? Okay, wait, but I understand you empathize with this, but does that really work for you? And so you're gonna move through all of this before we get to some really cool juju. like 49, gate 49, a revolution, lunar new year, eclipse season, all getting us to gate 55.
Faith.
Faith, abundance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're moving through this process, and we eventually get to this faith, abundance, and freedom. And then this amazing Saturn plus Neptune 0 point in Aries, which is 1 in 35 years. Like this energy comes the Saturn plus Neptune conjunction comes every 35 years, but it's like major transformation energy. So we are flowing through these transits to eventually get us to this moment where we get to choose to leave or not.
Mm-hmm. Well, and at this week, gate 41 is at the end of this week. Gate 41 is the human design new year.
Mm-hmm.
It's the beginning. It's also, we're all experiencing this. This is actually the planting of new seeds because Pluto moved into gate 41 about a month ago. And we're all carrying this energy. It's this energy asking us, like, what are you willing to, because in order to plant something, you have to clear things away. Those old things that just aren't you anymore, that aren't aligned. And we're really in this, and the Aries energy, that Neptune, Saturn in Aries. Aries is the starter for the for the zodiac. It's the fire. It comes in, and we're in, and the Chinese New Year is the fire horse. It's the starter. It's the, like, let's get going. So there's so much energy right now that's essentially asking us, like, what are we willing to clear away so that we can actually grow what we want to grow? Like, what are you willing to let go of? And not even willing, what are you ready to let go of? And maybe also not ready, because sometimes we think those things, like that gate 60, it's like, well, this is kind of working, so like I'll just stay with my limitations because it's like kind of working and I don't want to rock the boat. But kind of working is not thriving.
And sometimes what you're letting go of is just as simple as fear.
Yes.
Fear or hiding, unwilling to step into your capacity. Because there are many of us, and I like to call y'all sleeping giants, and you're over here and you have the capacity. The space is there. And it's really a fear of accessing it that's holding you back. So it's less about clearing out different things and more about clearing out the part of you that is afraid of your own power. It's very much like, okay, I spent 48 hours not sleeping, working on these two things, but now I have a thing, I can balance it back out. So sometimes we also fear dipping out of balance. And we fear being crazy. Mm-hmm. While I was moving through my really intense, like, music making, while doing all the things journey, Spirit played an old tape for me of a session that I had when I was in mentorship with Chayton Perkin. And he literally said, the world needs you to be crazy. Probably like one of the most important and impactful things he said to me, because I had a big issue with potentially being crazy or losing my mind or having these moments and people judging me. Especially because I've literally, it's funny, this is bringing up, and I know now why he said it, so I can say this on this podcast, the first person who ever kissed me a long time ago saw me many years later, and he's like, it's like you're manic, you're so happy all the time, and then you get super energized and like do all this stuff. And it was this judgment and this fear of power. And it stuck with me because I had my own fear of that same power. And so this is a moment to lean in and to let go of whatever is holding you back from truly stepping into the capacity that you may be hiding. And to be clear, that doesn't mean more work. That just may be allowing yourself to be seen. And or not distracting yourself with other things because you're like, well, I have space. You have space because you're pretending you don't have other things
Yes.
on your own agenda that are there,
Yes.
but that you're just choosing to be like, nah, I got space. No, you don't. Oh, you see it. You see it.
You're hiding from your power. Yeah. And people, if you are listening, you are going to hear me admit that Shebala has called me out on this.
Woo! She said it.
I have. Yes, I have said this.
Jahjehan.
You know, I when I walked up to her months ago and said I had a dream of you, I didn't say I had a dream of you and it's fantastic. I just said I had a dream of you and I knew I needed her in my life, but I did not realize
Neither did I, y'all.
all that was going to be rebirthed, you know, because while I take people on life reimagining journeys, I did not realize that I was signing up for a rebirth when I met Shebala because I needed that.
And I did not realize when I was like, oh yeah, I'll help you with those things. I didn't know what I was signing up for either, but here we are. It's been
we've both helped each other grow in ways that, 7, 8 months ago, 9 months ago, whenever it was we met, we didn't realize what we were activating. But I just knew I needed to be we knew we needed to activate each other.
I'm going to call out Jahjehan right now, just because, one of the things that she has been hiding, and I want to show you just how beautifully she's hidden this. So you guys go to her site, and then go into courses under all of the human design, everything else, because Jahjehan is a very special artist. You can get here, and it says cultivating and creativity. She has something that I believe is so potent and so valuable in this moment. And it's a way of connecting to yourself deeply through art. And she has actually put out an entire year of art. And this is connection art, somatic art, dig into your soul art, simple projects. Things that don't even necessarily take up a lot of space. One of the things I loved, this is the size. I was actually sad when it came. This is literally the size. I was like, that's the paint palette, and this is the big one. So they're just things that don't even look at the little thing. Things that don't take up space in your physical space, if that's a concern, because that was one for me. And every single month, she has got 3 exercises for you.
Mm-hmm. There you can see one of them. And actually, I will say that March one is unlocked for everyone right now because this is really a meditative paint play that we can all
look at
do.
This.
Because it's a journey into cultivating your creativity, because I truly believe that we are all creative beings. And when we were younger, maybe we were told a story that we were good at art and we kept doing it. Maybe we were told a story that we were not good at art, and so we stopped doing it. But honestly, art is somatic play. It is expression. It is creativity. And it allows, I know Shebala started playing, she got activated. I activated her artist. I mean, she's a creative, and she knew it. But like she said, she bought that tiny little palette because I raved about those. I love those watercolors, and they are potent and they are magical. But honestly,
I drew it part and it all came together.
Exactly. Like she downloaded a whole new thing, which she's not ready to share with everyone yet.
Except that I'm ready to share it, and it's sharing today. Jahjehan. Today. Okay. You can't call me out on that one today. No. Later today, I'll be sharing.
Okay.
For the first time publicly.
Yes. And that medicine map came to you through activating that creative play. Like you didn't know when you picked up those watercolors what was going to flow through. And that's what that course is. It's like, it is for the person who doesn't think they're an artist to encourage you to play and to encourage you to come back to yourself. And it is a lot of manifestation-led artwork. And it flowed through me as a live membership for 2 years. And then when I was done, because I'm a manifestor and I finish things, I did. I put it into a year of art and I hid it on my site.
You
So
did it.
thank you for calling me out. I will stop hiding it. But yes, for right now, if you go to my site, you can find it under the course tab at the very bottom. A year of art for cultivating your creativity.
I love it. Oops, not this one. This site. Jahjehan Ives. Did I get it right?
Yes, JahjeIves.com.
So again, and that's JHJEIVES.com for anyone who's listening on the recording. But I say this to say we are here. We're moving through this journey with you, traveling partners. There is no hierarchy here. Some more words, some more language. We may know some different ancient wisdom systems, but we are all tuned in and tapped into this wisdom.
Yes.
And it's just important for me to reinforce that as more and more people start spouting more and more bullshit.
Yes.
The difference is a willingness to step into your power.
Mm-hmm.
And so the next slide says, are you going to choose your clarity in 2026? Just straight up. Are you ready? Because the transit right now and the ones coming are going to support that. So that when we move into the new Lunar New Year, mid-February onwards, you can gallop, y'all. This is a very special year. And for many of us, we've been waiting for this energy. We've been moving through just a period of hermiting, waiting, cultivating, clearing for this moment. And it almost feels, for me personally, a little intimidating because I know how many things are going to be happening at the same time for me.
Yeah.
I'm parallel pathing all of my journeys at once. So I'm taking mom to Africa. We're working on music. We're doing our retreat. We're launching. It's just many different things. And for some of that's even for me, I'm ooh, full manifesting generator, all cylinders, all the time.
Yeah. And for me, I'm feeling the same energy in a different way because as a manifester, I'm realizing how much that I am ready to say yes to in my life and what is required for me to say no to in order for me to create that space. And for me, it's saying no to people who are telling me it's not possible. I'm like, oh, you're not for me. People who want to hook into just that, like I said, that noise, that chatter, that's a no for me. I'm like, I know what I'm here to create. And I know that me staying focused on my path, on the path forward, is actually going to create something impactful in this world that is here, needed at this moment. And that is for all of us. It's not just me. It is that is why Shebala is focused. That is why you probably know where you need to focus. And it's so important that you give yourself that clarity, that spaciousness, that this is we were talking the other day and Shebala was saying, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Next month is actually a once in a lifetime opportunity for us.
It'll probably come back, but it'll come back when we're 70. No.
Well, actually, all of the astrological shifts that are happening, the nexus, Saturn, is just one of many things. Yes, that's going to come back in 35 years, and I plan to be here when that energy comes back. But there are so many other things that are lining up at this point, astrologically, that will never happen in our lifetime again.
And even though that conjunction comes back, it being a 0 point in Aries hasn't happened for millennia. So that's actually we'll see. There are some people who think we're going to stop dying. It's possible.
Possible. But yeah. I don't know about you, but I'm okay being on a beach in Tulum when we stop time. That seems like a really good resting point for me.
So speaking of people, let's get into long-term transits. One of the predictions I have, I don't do predictions often, but my predictions for this 2026, one of them is that this is the year of small circles, y'all.
Yes.
Find your squad, your tribe, stick to them, be real discerning. it will set you up for success this year.
Agreed.
Those of us who are really clear on our like top 5, there's a lot of shifts, movements, positivity that will come from that. Those who are, I'm a very open human, but in openness to the point where we aren't being discerning, it's gonna be an interesting year.
I love that. Interesting year.
No, like it'll be more interesting. So let's go ahead. Let's look at these long-term transits. Since this is our first episode, I wanted to spend a little bit more time digging in on these huge shifts that have been happening, so that we can keep tracking them and keep tracking where they are and how we're moving through them throughout future celestial flows.
Yes.
And they're also really cool. And for those of us who are trying to be present to and leverage the energy, and for anyone who is in active manifestation, knowing these are like little, I don't even like the idea of cheat codes because I don't cheat in life. But
there's sprinkles on your ice cream cone.
Yeah, that's a little extra juju. How about that? So channel 3747, this is the channel of community. We're just talking about, folks. For the next 4 months, everyone has access to this channel. It is transiting. It has been transiting. It's here for 4 more months. It is connecting the heart and emotional centers. It's given many of us, myself included, some clarity to our emotions. And it is potentially setting us up for success. I mean, I believe it's setting us up for success in community, but how you are living it, especially with that gate 40 being the gate of aloneness, or how you are living it is up to you.
Exactly. Well, and in quantum human design, it's the gate of restoration, which
That's
I
40.
love that, because to restore yourself, you have to retreat and allow that aloneness. It's not necessarily you're splitting off and being like, no more. It's more, I know what I need to restore myself so that you can go back out into community to make the impact, to make the agreements, to have the energy for what you're here for.
I don't subscribe to the have to in that statement, that you have to restore yourself in that way.
Yeah.
But
thank you for calling that language.
I'm calling the language, but what I'm going to say also is I still have, like, that was one of my core wounds, like the idea of aloneness.
Mm-hmm.
So, anytime I have a bias, I like to throw it out there. However, what's interesting is when I first learned this gate, we talk about how the aloneness of gate 40 gets triggered. And so, or how the need for restoration gets triggered. Mm-hmm. And the way I first learned it was that when contracts in community are not being fulfilled or respected, when the aloneness is needed. And typically that's because they actually haven't been communicated. Because someone who has 40 already has an innate ability to navigate in community that other people may or may not have. And so it's up to them to communicate things that for them may be like basic AF, as my mom would say, because my mom has gate 40. And so I have the 37 to her 40, but for her, it's like, why should I say these things? Like, this is just basic. Don't you understand? And the reality is, you're talented. And so sometimes she does not vocalize her expectations, then ends up in a place where she is literally horrified by our inability to follow through on what feels like a basic contract, at which she needs space to restore herself.
Yeah.
So again, other people's gate 40s may flow in different ways, but I just wanted to bring up the other aspect of this, which is there is literally a trigger in there that is, this is not being respected. The contract is not right, clean, clear. I need to get that out of here.
Yes.
Let's check out your cards. Can you share them with us?
Yes. So for gate 37, and this is, as I said, this is the full channel. So it's the same person. It's my friend Allie, who is actually an emergency room doctor. And it's interesting because she goes full on for her community when she is at the ER, and communication, as you know, when you're in emergency management medicine, is like, that's the foundation. But as soon as she's done her shift, she has what she calls the cave, where she goes and she retreats into her aloneness to restore herself, because she knows she needs to come out and essentially be able to give. And so for gate 37, I have her, kind of essentially giving from her heart, because when you give from your heart in friendship, peace takes flight, and we all thrive in equality. And you'll find, if you know human design, if you know the gene keys, if you know quantum human design, oftentimes I'm weaving the name of the gate in there. And then gate 40 this is the embracing your need for aloneness. And I'm like, what does it say there? I should have like the real cards. But anyway, the first line is embrace your need for aloneness, which is really, that is the crux of restoration.
It says wrapping yourself in a cocoon of restoration.
Thank you. Thank you. So there I wove both of them in. But for me, that's the essence of gate 40. And she's kind of hugging herself and embracing herself and allowing herself that energy of restoring herself, so that she can come back out and give that gate 37 from her heart when she's back into that emotional alignment.
What's fascinating is where the need for restoration comes from, because I want to dig in further, right? So we've got the trigger, but what I was looking at Chaitin and his kind of interpretation of I Ching in his book of lines, and there's an additional piece that I'm getting to learn, like real time, and it says willful heart energy, because we're forgetting, or I was forgetting that 40 is in the heart center.
Mm-hmm.
And this is so relevant for me because of mom. Like, it says willful heart energy is exerted to accomplish great feats efficiently. It requires rest in detachment and separateness to recover and digest what has transpired. And what I will say is, there is sometimes with my mom, certainly, this energy that is like a willful, sometimes from my standpoint, almost feels like forcing energy, especially when the contracts haven't been communicated effectively. Because what that means, or the expectations, is that you're literally taking that will and you're having to use it because you haven't effectively communicated. And so if you're needing to use that will, then you will need to rest. Does that land? So it's a solution, but the reality is most people are not at the solution. They're in the willful use of it. And therefore the rest becomes a consistent need.
Well, and what I didn't share is my youngest actually has this full channel as well. And so I get to live with this energy all the time as well. And I will say that when that kid decides that something is going to happen a certain way and communicates it, it's literally like a done deal. But when they don't communicate it, that can be messy.
At the highest, in the Book of Lines, it's higher will. It goes from resolve to like higher will. And there's a line here. It says freedom from becomes freedom for becomes freedom. And, in the I Ching, it's actually called deliverance.
Yes.
So freedom for yourself and from any hardship, using willpower to distinguish the difference between struggle and the liberation you attain what you want. And it's really funny because mom wants the house like just done up in a certain way.
Yeah.
And so this has been her struggle, and she's trying to liberate herself by getting it where she wants it to be. And, since then, so funnily enough, now we all have gate 3740 as we're moving through this transit. One of the things that we've done is I had been trying to implement family meetings for quite some time. about 2 years unsuccessfully. And I analyzed everything.
Everything in its own time.
Now, like, what are the so I made a structure because channel structuring. And so we have like a family structure. We go through what is it? Cooking, cleaning, the calendar. So these are the biggest areas of conflict. We share some like cosmic wisdom. We have a moment to speak concerns because we all have open emotional centers.
Mm.
And then I close it off for my mom and for my husband so that I become the in between, which I was not enjoying. So we all speak concerns, and then we have a moment to celebrate each other and then celebrate something positive that we did and a commitment for the day. So like that's kind of our flow, but I've had this on the calendar, and ever since we've all moved into the 3740, it's locking in.
Oh.
And I'll wake up at like 5 a.m. And then my husband was like, I want to do concerns with eyes closed and add breath work. I mean, he went to Vipassana, so that helped. But we basically became this kumbaya family that really has gotten very clear on the contracts, communicating them beforehand, how helpful it is to move through that. And it was a needed addition with the open emotional centers, but also having someone in the household who has that 40 and who gets to give the gift of it.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
I love it. So this one, we're hanging out with it for the next 4 months. And one of the things that I put was the line placement in the slide because as I take myself off the screen, because we're currently in line 5, and there's 2 themes for that: harmony, but also firmness. And we forget sometimes that there is a firmness that we get to embody as we are staying in alignment with what is self-love for us and communicating that even within community. All right.
I love that. Yeah.
Anything else before we jump to the next long-term transit?
I think you summed it up. I could share more, and I also want to get into the long-term transit.
Okay. So the next one that is a biggie from my standpoint, certainly in my house, because my husband has gate 30. So if you
I have gate 30, so this is a biggie for me.
If you have gate 30, and then this is relevant if you have an open or defined emotional center, but especially if you had an open emotional center, because now you're getting definition.
I will also say if you had an open or undefined root center, because I'm getting root energy for the next 2 years.
Yes. So it goes both ways. So yes, that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have access to your emotions and to the internal pressure.
Pulse of timing. Yeah, that pulse of timing.
Yeah. For the next 2 years. And this whole channel is about desires and the refining of desires. The fun part, gate 30, when I first read it, I'm gonna find it because it's so spicy.
It is spicy.
And when it comes out of my mouth, someone will think I said this, but I want to share it as I live with the gate 30. But it's about dissatisfaction, the one that I'm thinking of. I'm going to pull this from an old Richard Rudd book before it went into Gene Keys. So like Human Design. It's out of print, but I loved it. This guy.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a fabulous little clip notes from when I believe he was, he spent quite a bit of time with Ra. And this was what he had published. And I am looking for it. While I'm looking for it, why don't you give us a little bit about your experience having gate 30?
Well, gate 30 is my unconscious Mars. So it's a spicy one. It's also in the Gene Keys, it's one of my core wounds. And so I actually had a big revelation about gate 30 about a half a year ago, because in quantum human design, it's passion. In traditional, it's desire. In the I Ching, it's the clinging fire. And it is literally where I get spicy, and it's not passion for no reason. It's passion for a reason. And it's the reason that, and so what happened was when I had my big revelation, I, on my mother's birthday, I got into a very impassioned argument with my father because of what I perceived as essentially, I want to say, me not wanting him to, well, not wanting, he basically shared something with me that shattered my perception of him, and I went off. And this is before we transited into gate 41 being attached to gate 30. So I was a hanging gate 30, and I basically started planting the seeds for, why are you even believing this? I was essentially, I think of 41 as like the clearing so that you can move forward, but the passion is what pulls you forward. And it just, for me, it's 30 is passion as a drive to create. That 41 is like the seed of creation, and the passion is what pulls it forward. It's the thing that it's also the thing that can burn us out. And for me, what it was actually planting seeds for what I wanted to see happen. And the interesting thing is, after that big blow up, my father actually shifted, and the perspective that we talked about, he started shifting in that. And it was only because I allowed my passion to come out, because it meant so much to me. It wasn't for no purpose. It was passion for a purpose.
I love that. So I'm going to read this one and focus more on the desire angle.
Mm-hmm.
So they talk about, so gate 30, Richard Rudd says, the short, quick reference, people who can never be free from desires.
Mm-hmm.
Deeper, he says, this is the gate of desire, and it is the source of all our emotional aches and yearnings. These people may not know what their longing is for, but they are driven to want to try all kinds of new things, the result of which may or may not be gaining wisdom. The 41 narrows down the emotional field by focusing on a single fantasy or desire at a time. This is also the gate of fates. Given the power that desire has over human beings, the greatest lesson these people can learn is not to take experiences personally. As long as they are able to enter into new situations from a clear emotional space, whatever they learn will be correct for them, even if it doesn't meet their expectations. Mm. And so gate 41 is like fantasizing about different and new
possibilities,
potentially feeling restlessness. And the 30 is where it gets really crystallized into a specific desire. So like our version of it, I had thought about the retreat and thought about a group version of the retreat. I'd gone back and forth. I did a retreat. I actually did solo retreats, but when I met you is when we crystallized it into like, okay, now we're doing like the whole retreat. And that was because there was alignment there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what I want to bring up is it's really fun because 4130, it's a channel for dreamers, really.
Yes.
And it's really about, what dream do I focus on?
Yeah.
At any given time. The last bit I want to read from this book, you have only 2 lessons to learn in life. There's more lessons.
Spoiler alert.
With a grain of salt.
Yeah.
I don't do, I think it's helpful to read this language sometimes, but there's also
2 lessons to learn in life at a time.
There's also the whole rest of your chart. So please don't forget it. Don't try to make your dreams come true. Don't expect any of your desires to bring you lasting peace. True peace is simply the enjoyment of the dream themselves. And so in some ways they're saying, or Richard Rudd is saying in this book, that people who have the full 4130 channel are natural dreamers, but so many of those dreams are not really meant to come true. I will give another lens of that. A lot of those dreams will inspire others along your way.
Yes.
Share them. And ultimately, the lesson, like if there's a lesson to learn, is patience.
Mm-hmm.
and allowing things to truly emerge from you.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's more that's kind of fun in here to look at, but this constant, like, not being satisfied. Like I remember being on the other side of my husband, because I'm the 41 to his 30, and just kind of moving through either different emotional explosions.
It's a spicy channel, y'all.
Call it the volcano channel, especially
Yeah.
if he's in I think it's 30.2 for him. Like there's a hermitness to his channel. So when it comes through, it's like, oh my gosh, what's going on? and also this ability to like really lean into refinement over time
Mm-hmm.
and be okay with that, and know that like the outcome isn't the goal. It's like, and even like the goal is the journey. And so to the extent that we can release those things, it gets a lot more interesting. But what I feel is the people who have this full channel activated, if you have been in a moment of divine confusion, is what I call it, you're getting clarity, you're getting wisdom, you're getting impulses, you're getting emotions that will allow clarity to emerge over the next 2 years. It's like, I'm not going to say it's go time, because that's not the vibe, that's not the energy, but it's look inward time, witness time, pay attention time, because there's some real yummy energy that will crystallize some things for you.
Yeah. And it's somebody who has the 30 and circuitry wise, this is part of the collective circuitry. It goes up to the 35, 36. And I've got that full little arc. And I will say that as this came into activation, that 41, because my son actually carries the 4130 channel. So I'm often around this energy, but there's a difference between being around it and being
in it.
And I've really been, it's been that inner dreaming of like, and the 30 being the emotional wave of when you're reaching clarity. And it's like this settling in, like I'm planting it, I'm feeling it, I'm settling. And then on the other side is I'm ready to take this leap.
Yeah. And I think in the settling, there's a step I would add before that sometimes, which is the like, I'm accepting emotion that's coming through.
Yes.
I say that as I want to bring up an herb. As for those of y'all who are experiencing this, there's an herb that I really love that seems to support me with Gate 41. It's Schisandra berry. I don't know why, but I call it like the take the rose colored glasses off. When I take it, it snaps me out of the fantasy into a little bit more clarity. And I'm like, oh shit. Because I'm here like, oh my God, everything's amazing. They're so awesome. Da, da, da. And then I'm like, oh God, I did it again. You know? And there is that part is like part of it too. Just being like, oh, okay.
Well, and I will say, I actually have the illustration completed for this 4130 channel. And the person who is the illustration for this is our friend, Maggie Batista, who is this really, she is a potent lady. She is a powerhouse. And she is also, I think of her as, she is a cacao guide. She holds ceremony. She plants seeds. And it's interesting because last weekend I was on a cacao ceremony with her, and all of the questions that she was, kind of initiating us with was this energy of the 4130. And it was really beautiful. So the plant that came in for the illustration is actually cacao. So I almost feel like Schisandra berry with like, do that, clear it, and then maybe do some cacao, or reverse that. But
I think you got the right order.
Yeah. I think it's like do that, clear it, and then get into the cacao where you can receive like once you've cleared the, taken off the rose-colored glasses.
They actually combine them a lot. So,
Well, there you go.
play with that. But all of this, so I can say this is not a recommendation to use any specific herb. Definitely.
Yes.
This is a consideration, and definitely, if you have any concerns, check with your medical professional.
Yes, because we are not medical professionals. We are simply sharing our experiences.
Yeah. All right. So next up, we have gate 25. So gate 25. Oh, sorry. One more thing. 41 right now. We're on the dot 2. So again, you're going to be moving through all parts of this as you build through this transit to the funnest part of the juju. Though I think honestly, all lines are really cool. To be honest. So caution is 41.2, not risking security and aiding others. And so really like not throwing yourself.
Don't throw
Throw yourself
over the mud puddle.
Yeah. And that's a real, because that's the funky version of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I really resonate with that one because as someone who has 41, I have definitely done that many a time. Like, it's okay. I'll just take care of you. It'll work out. I'll work it out later, but let me take care of you first. I do that often, actually. And for me, my journey was reducing the number of people I have at that depth of relationship, and only choosing to hang out with the ones who know that there is that depth of generosity in me, but who are as considerate.
Yes. Yeah.
And,
reciprocity.
Hello. We're getting some hellos.
Hey,
in
Michelle.
Michelle.
And happy birthday, Michelle. It's Michelle's birthday.
Michelle. Hey, I wish I had a happy birthday song.
I know, right?
So gate 25, right? Gate 25 is transiting. It's beautiful, beautiful gate 25. Innocence comes up. Honestly, I love when I'm around people with gate 25.
Unconscious Sun 25.1.
Because there is I think there's just this ability within y'all to tap into unlimited love.
Yeah.
And just to truly like see the beauty in everything, everyone. And whenever y'all are in that juju, it actually literally legitimately feels tingly in my body. It is very nice. And there's this innocence to not realize that that's not standard for others.
Yeah, I think it took me a lot of years to realize people did not see the world and experience it the same way. I fall in love with everyone. I see like the highest in everyone. And then that 51 sometimes shocks me out of it.
And so I have the 51. And what's beautiful is that gives us, if you have the 51, you are in initiation energy. You are in initiation energy. I just want to take a moment to just say happy birthday to Michelle. Congratulations on your 59th year. Happy Earth Strong. And I absolutely love that this year is going to be the same year of your birth.
Yes, the fire horse year return.
Okay. So if you have 51, your heart is being connected to your identity center for the next 4 months. Whenever I'm in that gate of initiation energy, I'm just like feeling it. I feel like I want to cry. Wow. This is very cool. Like, what are you doing to me, Jahjehan? In the best way. I just get a massive dose of clarity. And I'm taking this from a business standpoint and just a building standpoint around like what is really me? What is really pure? What is really for me? I feel like I really and truly can access that. And so if you're on the 51 side or you're on the 25 side, it's I can access and I can initiate that into various different experiences. And that to me is just divine and special.
Yeah. I love that. Well, and it's interesting because I just before this was telling you about a client I've been working with who it was helping her see her heart and where her heart was. That actually, she's a projector. She is now getting these invitations because instead of hiding or not even mentioning where her heart was, like we brought that up to the surface. And I find that's I usually go in with people. It's like, let's talk about your heart. Let's bring it all up. And I am definitely the person who's like, I see, like I said, I see the best in you. And it's even when you can't see it, it's like I can see the gifts in you. And that is the thing that I'm going to reflect back to you is all of this beauty and this love for you and who you are. So anyway, I love you.
So bring in this. So currently we're in line 2, which is devotion and dedication in the now. And so this is one, but free from personal motivation. There's a funky version of it where you're like, I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna be dedicated, and this is going to serve me in this way. Okay. So we're trying to get rid of the personal motivation. This placement's actually in a detriment right now. I believe it's in the Neptune. And so just watch out for it. I love a detriment because to me, it's a blind spot that is no longer blind the minute I learn about it.
Yes.
So
exactly.
It's literally pay attention to where moves that are actually in alignment with your heart are starting to become motivated actions, like where you're starting to assign and attach motivation, dollars, etc., to things that are truly in alignment, and do your best not to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So you know it's gonna support you, work for you, blah blah blah. Just let that part go.
Yeah, just let that, like, don't let that be the driving force.
Let that happen. I want to also give y'all a word. If you are in a place where you're getting 25, so if you either have the 25 or have the 51 or have the whole transit naturally, this is your leap moment. This from Richard Rudd, so the Circuitry book. Your life is a series of leaps into the unknown. And so the next 4 months is a series of leaps into the unknown, and music, new partners, retreats, full-time employee. Like, I'm like, okay, like, sign me up, right? When Mallory joined as my chief of staff, when she joined, she's like, I feel like I'm grabbing your hand and we are like leaping off.
Yes.
Together. And yeah, go for it. And so if you have the 51, Sharon, moment, tune into your heart. What has it been calling to? Fucking go for it. No, seriously. The music.
I know, I'm just laughing because I'm like, it's true. That is the potency of this. And having that 25-51, both of your hearts are defined. Like, you know, your identity center is leading that direction with your heart. The will center is making things happen with your heart.
This is, I wrote a song. It's the first song I wrote, and it's Caged Bird. And the end of it literally says, I'm going to find it for y'all, but the lyrics literally say, like, take the leap because you'll fly.
Yes. I've heard this song, my friends. That's just why I was like, But it is.
It's such a potent, I didn't have it pulled. as I was thinking about this one, but let me just pull it up real quick.
Because we didn't realize it was so pertinent to what we were going to be talking about until the moment that you went, oh, cool.
And so I'm like, wait, this
Divine revelation.
This whole, we're not going to listen to the whole track, but it is a buildup. And so we'll listen to the beginning and the end.
La la la. I know why the cage bird sings. Ooh, she hopes and fears what freedom brings. Elle espère, elle tremble un peu. Ooh, she sees outside and knows her truth, while shouldering the pain of her roots. She lives in fear that they may see the power only she can free. Cette force cachée en elle, she walks in peace, she walks in love, but still she fears all.
So this part, she fears her power.
And she
there
walks
is
in
a
love.
hidden power in you. And you are walking in love. And it is there, right? But are you ready to free it? And right now, if you're being activated, these are the leaps that get you to freeing your power. And it's really exciting for me. I don't know if I'll be able to get to the exact last place in the song where she breaks her cage, but we're gonna try.
To drop the shackles of her, il est temps de briser la cage. To drop the shackles of her past, to let her love flow deep and wide. Jump off the cliff, elle n'a plus peur, for she will fly.
There we go. So that to me is like the 25, 30, 51 playing around. It's like, if you are willing to take these leaps and you jump off that cliff, you will fly and you will be able to unleash your love into the world. And it's absolutely normal that you fear doing that, because people don't understand love. That's the middle of the song. But when you know that you're walking in love and you're getting these shocks that are initiating you into your power, you are being called to stop hiding and to truly start embracing it. And the next 4 months, the universe is going to keep giving you the call. And the question will be, will you take it? It's funny. I was like, ooh.
I'm like, Shebala can see me if you're watching. I'm like trying to not completely cry.
You. I can see you opening.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, yes. And I mean, the journey to follow.
Cry, baby, cry. Just cry.
I know. I'm like, oh okay.
Say more. The journey.
Bring tissues. I'm not going to make that mistake again.
The journey to?
The journey to fly to where your heart wants you to go is one that requires you to let go of everything that you think you need in order to embrace what you really need to be. And it's not even about stuff, it's about following your heart. And I know that sounds so basic, but it really is. Yeah. And thank you, Sharon. I'm glad you're crying with me.
And this is a beautiful journey because it's part of the mystical circuit. And so we're like jumping
Mm-hmm.
into ourselves and into our love.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's beautiful. Like when you can do it. Whew, it's
Yeah.
beautiful. And then I love that it's a Neptune placement.
Mm-hmm.
It's special right now. Okay. And so going for it and releasing the need for personal motivation related to it. That brings us finally to our Capricorn New Moon. So January 18th, we're moving into a Capricorn New Moon. And then I wanted to put this in because we thought it was so relevant. The moon shifts very quickly into Aquarius, right?
Mm-hmm.
I also wanted to bring out the goat in Capricorn. But the goat that I want to talk about is the greatest of all time goat. I was like, if you are a Capricorn, you're a goat. You are the what? This gets to be the version of you that is literally the greatest of all time. The in terms of the one you've seen. Some of us, ooh, this is gonna make me cry. Some of us had moments, had glimmers of our power. We had previews of what was possible for us. And then it shifted because it was not. The time or the way we were building it wasn't fully sustainable. And or it shifted because the world is shifting. And therefore the thing that we were creating had to evolve. I don't say have to often, but it had to, or to die. Or the reality is we weren't the vessel to hold it yet. But for me, as I look at this Capricorn New Moon, I look at a new opportunity for us to step into the greatest of all time version of ourselves. Not the one who has nostalgia for the energy that we did have, or for whatever we built, or for whatever ego stuff we were on back then, but the one who deeply knows that they are the GOAT.
Yes.
You know, where you're like, this is me. It's like the Simone Biles. Like, you're gonna have to name these moves after me when by the time I'm done.
Exactly.
What is that for you? And then how does that shape the world and bring about the change we desperately need to see?
Yes.
With that Aquarian energy coming through. So this moon is very it's emotional for me because I'm like, I've been fucking waiting for this energy.
Mm-hmm.
And the wait has not been easy. I mean, it's been easy, but it's been frustrating as all hell.
Yes, exactly.
We've been waiting. Okay. I had a lot to say on that one.
Well, and it's like this is that moon that is a crossroads. And so what you're talking about, it's that waiting, like you've been waiting because you weren't there yet. And this is a moon, though, that's asking us to finally make that decision, that clarity, that step towards this. This is where I'm headed. And all of that junk that might still be in your head, you get to make a decision because this is where you're headed.
The other thing I have to say is expect miracles.
Yes.
It has been coming to me, expect miracles, expect miracles, expect miracles. Jahjehan can tell you, I'm like, here are all the dominoes. They can all fall. But then expect miracles. Because you see the dominoes disappear. We get previews shift. Expect miracles. This is a moment for it. Let me bring up my music journey. I have been practicing I have been carrying around a Chinese harp for 18 years. I heard it. I didn't have anyone to teach it to me. I got it from China. I brought it back. I carted it around to literally to New York, to LA, to Texas. I finally found a teacher. She was not the right teacher for me. I finally realized, oh my God, what I want to learn. And just in case anyone's like, what is she talking about? This is like a mini. Whoops.
Shebala's Wonderland unfolding.
But if you've seen any kind of classical Chinese music, you've seen these. But this is a mini version. And so now I like collected them. And so all of a sudden, a distributor, a woman who's so passionate about these, literally opened up right down the street from me.
No.
And then I got her to literally import, she thinks this is a toy because it's a 6-foot instrument, but I got her to import a travel one just for me. And now it's probably making her lots of money in her business. But I got her to import one.
Because you're that money channel.
I got that money channel. And then it starts, like I start playing it, and all of a sudden I hear this track. And it is a kora, this guy, which is a West African harp, typically from like the Gambia, Senegal, but they also played in Mali as well. And everything crumbled in me. I felt that 25 vibration truly for the first time. And I was like, this is my instrument. This is what I've been looking for. And so to make a long story short, this harp ends up taking me all the way to Africa. I ended up getting this custom built with me. I'm on a musical journey with my mom, and I'm thinking that that's how it's going to roll. Like, I'm going to learn these instruments, and eventually my ancestral voice will fully come out, and eventually I'll play. And like, it was the plan. These dominoes will fall. And then boom, AI music comes in and flips everything on its head. And now I am writing music via AI that includes these instruments.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm already releasing music, and I'm going to learn how to sing that music. And then I have my own issues with AI and environmental impact. And now I get to also model the way I'm doing it to highlight that issue and also present my solution to it. So one potential solution so that can get people going. So all of that to say, there was no reality where that was possible for me in my mind. There was 0 versions of me releasing and producing music. I am now going to teach human design via music, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I have tracks specifically for my manifestors, for my emotional people, like for my emotional authorities. But like literally, like, expect miracles. This is the moment for them if you're open to receiving them.
Mm-hmm. And you're following the energy, because I will also reflect back to you that this is all because you didn't pause and say, this doesn't make sense. You just kept flowing forward and trusting that as the energy felt right, was giving you energy, was exciting you, was landing in your body like electric lightning that wanted to come through you, you just did.
I did. I will say I did pause and be like, this doesn't make sense, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Yes.
There was that. There was a little bit of like.
And you did inform me, because we were in the midst of things, and you're like, I'm going to inform you, Jahje, that this doesn't make sense, but this is what you're going to find me doing. And I was like, I love that for you. And thank you for informing me so that I will not be chasing after you going, wait, what's going on?
I literally wrote her a song about how I didn't get the work done for that day.
And the song was amazing. And so I was like, it was an apology song. And I was like, first of all, we don't do apologies.
And it was, that was the intention, though it didn't once use the word apology. It did not.
No, it didn't. But you introduced it as, this is my apology song. And I was like, first of all, why apology? And I was like, second of all, oh my God, you made this song. This is amazing. Thank you. More.
Then I felt like a bad lover who does something terrible and like tries to make it up with like something sweet, like here are your flowers. Like,
I loved my flowers. That's all I gotta say.
Anywho, so all of this to say, this moon, it is bringing an opportunity to really step in, And what's fun and what we wanted to bring up, what I wanted to bring up yesterday was Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Birthday. His actual birthday.
Yeah, his actual birthday. And then Martin Luther King Jr. Day is coming with this lunation, actually when it moves into Aquarius.
Yes.
And so for me, that was really fun. Some things that we looked at, his profile was 5'1" man Gen.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Just with all he was managing.
With all the things that he managed to get done, no wonder.
No wonder.
And the leadership, the visionary leadership that he was here to be, that energy.
Yes.
And that depth of information that he drew from in order to inspire us all.
Left angle cross of obscuration. This one's a fun one because there's so much of that about almost hiding what you're doing and hiding the depth of what you're doing and communicating enough, but not everything. And I almost wonder if that's one of the reasons he got as far as he did before his unfortunate end.
Mm-hmm.
You know? He had a North Node in gate 8. So there's that depth of contribution. Unfortunately, he did pass away at 39. So we know at the 40s is when like the node really gets into gear, but he was clearly already in it. Mm-hmm. And then I just put some of the channels up here. Channel of charisma, of course.
Yes.
Of course. That is why, like the word
electricity that he was.
Today. Mm-hmm. Channel of struggle. And this one I really wanted to highlight because so many of us not so many of us with, I don't have it, but so many of my clients with the full channel of struggle look at it like a death sentence sometimes.
I don't know what you were going to say, but I look at it as the channel that you're willing to fight for what you believe in.
You're willing to fight for what you believe in. And you see perspective that some don't see because you're truly moving through this journey of struggle. And what I find is you're collecting massive amounts of nuance that are going to really help you do whatever you're meant to do via that. And it's this combo of knowing what to fight for and knowing when to take those leaps.
Exactly.
Then we had channel of preservation, that 50. So much of the 50 is correcting what we call corruption in the line, genetically even. And so what he was doing in terms of healing the world, so relevant.
Yeah.
To know that like this is the moment where some of his wishes are actually present and also where they're being debated. And then that channel of acceptance in there as well. And on this one, what I want to look at is like breaking it down into opinions. And then this detail and nuance that would have been needed to dismantle such a disruptive system that pretty much everyone agreed to. And that many still do.
Yeah. Yeah, that channel of acceptance is like, for me, that those details, the 62, the clarity, and actually Richard Rudd in the Gene Keys talks about the 62 as intellect versus intelligence. Intellect is all in the head. It's the proving, it's the radicalism of, like I must prove this. And intelligence lives in the heart. And that's actually the highest expression of that is the intelligence of the heart. And I think if anything, Dr. King showed us that, like he led from the intelligence of his heart.
And then he also had 59 on the 1, which is fun. Both from the standpoint of there's a little promiscuous side, and there's some stories about that, but that ability to penetrate deeply and connect with people. The 59.1 is the bash people over the head with your message type. And it's beautiful how he did that, but then still use the channel of charisma to articulate it in a way that it didn't feel like that for so many.
Yeah.
So yes. I'm just sitting in a moment of gratitude.
Yes.
And it'll be very interesting to see as we move through this lunation and as his essence, which is still very present in our world, comes through, what will happen and how all the chips may fall and who will be initiated and activated.
Yes.
Next up, just the moon themes. I wrote these down. Responsibility. Responsibility has been coming up for many of my clients right now. And I have some questions on this. I will be sending out an email. I think Jahjehan's also going to be sending out an email. So if you haven't taken a moment, head over to our website, subscribe, and you will receive some deeper dives into this work. But so many people right now are in fear and choosing responsibility, but it is a responsibility anchored in fear.
Yes.
How could I be responsible and not die? Literally.
Yeah.
and that is a very fascinating. I'll use the lens of Martin Luther King. Like, I cannot be on this podcast. Like, literally, if I kind of take that, I would not be me right now in the way that I am and in the freedom that I am. I would be hiding in my house.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm giving an extreme version of this. My client, we were working on responsibility as related to her union. She's actually moving through a separation. And she was being so responsible in that, but responsible for other people's nervous system, not her own health. And so that's responsibility. Do you want to talk about impact, your impact on the world?
Well, I think that, your impact on the world is in terms of, like we were talking about, that what are you stepping towards? What are you stepping in? What are you? And I love tying it back to responsibility. Like, are you letting your responsibility for other people hold you back from that impact that you are here to have in the world? Or rather, are you stepping into that responsibility as in its sovereignty instead of in its fear?
What is your mission?
Mm-hmm.
How do you connect to love?
Yes.
And what do you need to clear to fully embrace it? And so, what are you building? And this moment, so this to me also brings in like that Aquarian energy big time. The moon is going to quickly shift into. But there is another transit. I think it's like Venus and Aquarius, but please don't quote me on that one. I don't have it written down. And what it is giving us is, for many people, your connections are being shaken up, and your squad, your tribe, the people who are going to support you, you're locking in.
Mm-hmm.
As you move through this 2026, who are you doing it with? Who are your top 5? Who are you letting yourself be conditioned by? Is there something to gain from them? Just because we know about human design and things like that does not mean we're not going to be conditioned.
Mm-hmm.
And so who are you getting into union with? Whether it's like marriage, or just energetic union as you move through this life-changing year. And I've written some catalyst questions. I'll have a couple more in my email. Where have you deferred your responsibility? Where are your metrics for responsibility rooted in someone else's benchmarks? Are you taking on the responsibility of managing the nervous systems of other adults? I'm going to say that one like 3 times. Are you taking on the responsibility of managing the nervous system of other adults?
I will also say other people. As the mother of 2, sometimes it's not adults that you're managing the nervous systems for.
Yes. And it's a question of like, have you taught your children emotional regulation?
Mm-hmm.
How old are your children? But this is why I like, at least at the minimum, please let's not do it for other adults.
Yes.
At the minimum, let's not do it for other adults. I know, Jahjehan, you've done a really great job of actually allowing your children to be in their power from the get. Some of us are still navigating that one. But real question, at what point is it someone else's responsibility to manage their nervous system? So again, are you taking on the responsibility of managing the nervous system of others?
Mm-hmm.
And does responsibility include fun, balance, harmony, self-love, self-care, coming to a beach,
dancing under the moonlight?
These are, some of the questions you can ask yourself in this moment to support this lunation. So this is my last sneak peek. And it is full stop. The song says some fun things about choice. Oops. And let me know if this is coming through for you.
It is.
I changed the song on us. 1 minute. I had it set up. Aha. Wrong one. That was still Freebird. These songs will be available. They're all clearing songs. They will be available in the next week to week and a half on Spotify, Apple, and they're all for you. Oops, here we go. This is a dance one.
Motion for meaning, effort for proof. Everything urgent except my own truth. I kept fixing the future in a body that couldn't rest. Didn't notice the humiliation till I heard myself asking for less. There is a holiness in giving, in the dividing stuff. I mistook endurance for destiny. Comme au corps dit, arrête de faire ça. I choose me over karma. I choose me over fame. I choose me over millions of people chanting my name. I choose me over dogma, over patterns, past and pain. If the whole world says they're leaving, I choose be just the same.
And so that is the question of the day. As we move through 2026, can you choose you?
Mm.
Can you choose you? Can you choose you? Knowing that when you choose you, you ultimately choose the world. Because the most powerful, most beautiful, yes, from crying to dancing, right? And that's the plan. Most powerful, most beautiful, most exceptional, blooming you is the one that's going to be the change we need to see in this world. Truly believe that from my heart. Yes, yes, yes. So that is us wrapping celestial flow for the day. And what we're going to bring in is an opportunity. We have been mentioning it. And there we go. In a little less than a month from now, Jahjehan and I are going to be at the beach in a beautiful 4-star resort, moving through ritual, ceremony, diving deep into human design, and stepping into our most honest love and our full potency. And so we have this offering, and you are invited to join us in Tulum for not one, but 2 retreats. You can come to both. You can I'm serious. They flow.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, you don't have to choose. You can come to both.
Serious. And so our first one is Partners in Prosperity. This is the love journey. And it is going to be moving through Valentine's Day period, the 13th through the 19th. And then we'll have a second one, February 27th through March 5th. And that is going to be the personal power journey that we're moving through. All the information is on prosperityartist.com. I'll pop that up and just scroll through a little bit while Jahjehan says a little bit more.
Well, I'm excited for both of these because it's been 9 months since we started in birthing these.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, these are our babies. And, the interesting thing is like Shebala and I both, have a background in human design, but we both are bringing our own individual medicines to this. And the people who are ready to choose into this, it is not just a perfect time to be doing this, but astrologically, as we've been telling you, it's like the astrological weather is here to support this transformation for you. Because during the Partners in Prosperity, there's so much going on, including a solar eclipse.
Yes. And this one is in 27 days, but there is absolutely still time to join, and still flights to Mexico, still space in the villa. And so
Yeah.
on this page, everything we move through, we use play, literal play, music will be there, art will be there, and also this framework, presence, let go, align you. And so when you check out the page, you will see a yummy agenda that includes ceremony, but also structured exercises and integration via art, and that will guide you through the entire experience. In this one, we ground and connect. We release shame. We free our fantasies into the world. We reharmonize our energy via breath work. We tune into our mother journey, because that is critical, so that we can start our remothering journey, especially for partnership where mom was the first resource. We co-regulate and we align. We'll move through the love karma clearing from Chayton Parkin. Both of us are trained in that. I'm intimately aware of that one. I've moved through it 3 times. We're going to bring some different things from my time with Toltec shamanism and some other some other methodologies that I've studied. Qigong, inherited family trauma is like what it's called, though I focus on stored memories and really releasing them and or understanding them, loving on them. So we have an ancestral repatterning, and this sacred space sound healing that comes after all of that. This is the moment that woke me up, literally. Woke me.
Shebala was born, right?
This is when the inklings of Shebala was born, when the was delivered. My great grandma told me that every problem that we had in our family came from not being seen, and also not to trust my mother, which is quite fascinating. That led me on an entire journey, and that journey brought me back to Tulum about 4 times. You can check out one of the, I think it's the last episode on Prosperity Artists, and it'll tell you all
it's the one where we interview you and you share all the juicy details.
And then from after all of that, and this is where I say expect miracles here too. After all of that, if for some reason you're like, I have yet to receive, we are going to be on the eclipse in a Temescal 2.5 hour sweat lodge. And every part of this is optional. So if you're like, that's not for me, that's totally okay. That is actually also happening at this glorious spa where you can get a massage from a beautiful healing woman. So there are always options. And also if you're in the sweat lodge with us, because I will definitely be in there, this is such a transformative experience, and it's just us, it's private, and it will be held on the eclipse. And then we'll wrap up the next 2 days with breath work, channeling. If you're not familiar with channeling, you'll be taught it. If you want to experience it, you'll be creating cosmic contracts for yourself and your partners, or for future unions that you plan to call into your life. And then we graduate. So this is our partnership and love opportunity. And then our personal power opportunity has a similar flow, but different details. That one is in 41 days. This is an actual picture of the villa that we have rented out that you can choose to stay in. And it's right next to this beautiful little serene boutique hotel where there's only 12 rooms. And so though we are in a really fun place, there is just an absolute calm on this property. And it's why we chose it. That's the picture of the Temescal. And yeah, I won't go through this one in detail, but please know that the information is there. And also the information is here. Feel free to reach out to either of us if you have any questions. The one thing I do want to say is, as this is coming up, and it is here for those who are ready to leap into this experience right now, we understand that there are also human concerns sometimes about finances, things like that. There is Klarna, there are payment plans, and that is a way to make it more accessible and to make it easier to take that leap if financial responsibilities on your mind in this moment.
And we also have the early bird, which goes through the new moon.
We extended it.
We did. We extended it. So you can still take advantage of the early bird pricing, which is through, I believe, the 19th is when we extended it to.
Yes, because there is no way to be late in your life, and therefore you're still early.
You're always on time. And you can be an early bird still.
Also, I just want to re-highlight the opportunity that Jahjehan has to experience her art. And also it's a little bit of a preview for some of the things you'll be experiencing live during the retreat. And like she said, she's unlocked part of her course in March. This is available on her website right to now. And then I see we have a few people who are still hanging out. So if you do have any questions, comments, feel free to post them right now. I'll hang out for another minute or two to see if anything pops in the chat. Medicine Map is coming live. We actually are going to have one today. But I wanted to also speak out a little bit into the future. I have 2 extra special guests that are going to be joining me. In later this month, we have Queen Herbie, and we're going to be talking about her perfected intuition. That's her 57.3 placement, but also her whole chart, as well as Bricks. Bricks is, very special individual, built an entire fitness business. He is a cross of consciousness, and he's just launched an entire website called healthyrap.com. And you can see how he's intertwined his music into education, into spreading awareness, and into supporting people with their health. And it's just beautiful. So I have 2 rappers.
I love it.
Coming through. The first one, spiritual rapper, Manifestation Now, really stepping into her power. The other one, more classical, now shifting into changing the world and health through rap. So we're bringing the music in a different way. Jahjehan and I will also continue to be sharing. And if y'all have enjoyed this, stay tuned, because the next episode is actually me hanging out with my chief of staff, one of my most favorite people in the world, and digging into her medicine map. She's also going to have a few hours, just a few, where you can borrow her brain, and she'll be coming with us to the event. And so we're going to get her special juju for the second retreat.
Yes, for the personal power, we'll have Mallory with us.
Yes. And that is it. Thank you for today. Hit us up. Come say hi. Subscribe to this pod. If you want to listen to it again, it will be live on all streaming platforms, or the main ones at least. Thank you. Have a beautiful day. And we intend to be back next week with a little bit more for you. So definitely stay tuned and keep in touch.